Is to tell me how far behind we are of Mr. Beast. But I think
shade under 400 million.
I mean, why do we keep mentioning it then?
Because you
not even close.
Because you're. Why don't we chase something else?
Because I go for the mountaintop, dude.
If we don't get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, we're closing down both the podcast and the YouTube channel.
We're 35 away.
If we don't hit 1 million by the end of the finals, we're shutting the channel down, starting over.
Yes. Well, we have great news. Not only are we not Legos, although that would be cool.
I was going to say, it's a bad beat for me. My
You're
Lego,
a big Lego guy.
I am a big Lego guy, but Lego Nick is way better looking than regular
cool.
Nick.
He looked very confident.
He looked awesome.
He was kind of stocky. Yeah. Had a little muscle on him.
It was.
I was a big Lego guy when I was 10.
Okay.
Just
Can you give us the big
putting it
news?
out there as an adult.
We have made 1 million. We are 405 million behind Mr. Beast.
And when we did that Lego video, we were a shade under 400 million behind him. So since it took us to add 10,000, he added 5 million.
Yeah.
Which makes me think we're not catching him. Probably not catching him. But that's okay, buddy.
The way the math is working out, it doesn't seem like it, but
It's just...
you know what we need? A little motivation, and you came to the right spot for that. It's time for the Bud List. Hit the band. The Bud List. Okay, also time where we read some viewer mail. We always get a ton of viewer mail. Interns, do you know we can still get physical mail? Have you been to the post office yet?
Interns don't know what physical mail or the post office is.
Physical mail, it's just like mail. It's just like email, but it's in physical form.
They don't know what email is either, buddy.
Okay, it's just like, social media, but it's printed. Okay. Just like Grok.
I can't wait to see this.
I don't know. Dear Wildes, love the show. Why? Thank you. Congratulations on 1 million. Thank you again. The mail is just, people make fun of the Postmaster General. They're on it nowadays. Did you approve of the Stanley Cup fan switching allegiances after Marchand's goal? Thanks, Ryan and Brian. Well, this did go somewhat viral, and to the point where I was wondering if it was a planted fan. Remember, Marchand scored this great goal. Then TNT cut to this fan and said, you know what, I'm just done with the Oilers. I'm now a Panthers fan. That's official, and he ended up winning. So it reminded us of kind of how you are being torn at the seams, literally.
I was.
Because your heart says Indiana, but your analyst brain says the Thunder. So Christine and Christina worked hard on a present for you on the eve of Game 6 of the finals. So
wow. I thought it was a cake initially.
No, it's not a cake.
Excited. Oh, wow. Wow, this is sweet.
There you go.
I mean, I am all Naptown, but this is nice.
So there you go. We can wear that, and at the end.
This would have been perfect for the Haliburton and Shea.
Yeah, so we have a
This would have been perfect for the first 4 games.
So if you want to, just really quick.
Wait.
It's also Velcro, you see.
What?
Here. This is Christine's.
You want me to put it on?
Just briefly, just for the
I'm not torn anymore.
Just for the show.
I'm not torn anymore.
Just like that. There you
I'm
go.
all Indy now, though.
I know. It was just a brief.
This is great.
It was just a brief thing.
This would have been perfect.
That's really well done. I like that a lot.
I like it.
It's the Bud List. Those are available. Also, just for the record, those are available in the Bud List store.
How about this? You know what I think? I think whoever our 1 millionth subscriber was, we send that to them.
Oh, congratulations,
Can we find
Bot.
that out?
If you have a physical body, you can wear this.
Oddly, do you know who the 1 millionth subscriber was?
Ones and zeros.
It was Cowboy Brew, believe it or not.
Time for the Bud List, officially.
Well, this is a Pacers heavy.
Okay.
In fact, Pacers exclusive Bud List.
Oh, wow.
Because it's all about motivation tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And they need motivation to push this thing to 7.
Oh, no.
A little bit of a delay.
I think I need a new battery, but other than that, sorry. All right, let's get to it. Number 3, T.J. McConnell.
Wow.
T.J. obviously has been great. And Nick, here's the question I want to throw by you. T.J. is one of 3 Pacers in this series to average more points in the series than he did in the regular season. You know the other 2?
I would imagine Siakam's one.
Siakam, only by like 0.4 of a point.
And I would imagine the other one, is it Mathurin?
No, so he averaged 16.
Oh, okay, and he
Obi Toppin.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's another
Off the
reserve.
bench.
Yep. So TJ's been great. I mean, this is clearly one of the best series of his life. And the good news for the Pacers is that your last game, TJ, was your best. 18 points, 4 assists in 22 minutes. brought the team back from, a big deficit and gave them a chance to win. Here's the question, are you still hot? Because you might need to be. We don't know what we're going to get from Tyrese Haliburton. He may be hampered to the point where he can't be effective, and you are going to have to go in there and play well. Can you play well for 30 minutes against OKC?
Yeah.
It's one thing to do it for 18, 15, 20, 22 even. Can you do it for 30? And can you play well against OKC starters?
Yeah.
I'm asking a lot, not just the reserves. Can you do it against the starters? Because that might be what it takes tonight. Now, the great Rick Carlisle, your head coach, had a guy, a backup point guard, became kind of a fan favorite, came off the bench.
The guy played one
back in 2011.
Oh my!
I wasn't even bringing that one up, but back in 2011, helped Rick Carlisle win his first championship, or his only championship to date, and that was J.J. Barea with the Dallas Mavericks in a huge upset.
Yeah.
And so, can you pull T.J. a J.J.? Can T.J. pull a J.J.?
Well done.
T.J., I believe in you.
That was excellent.
All right, at number 2, sticking with the Pacers, Rick Carlisle. All right, Rick, I think, Nick, he is an all-time great coach. Now, years from now, obviously he's got one of the greatest upsets in the history of the league when he led Dallas over Miami in 2011, the Big Three Heat, LeBron, Wade, Bosh. But if he doesn't get this series, while the real basketball heads will recognize his greatness, even for getting them to the finals and pushing OKC, he probably needs to win it to really totally cement it among the casuals for sure.
Ring culture.
So there's a chance for him to do that. You're right. He's the same exact coach, whether they get beat by 40 tonight or whether they go in and win the championship, but you want to win that ring. So you got a lot of tough decisions to make. Obviously, Tyrese Haliburton, you have to, if he doesn't have it, and Wiles, you asked earlier, what will we see that will worry us about Haliburton in the first quarter? He really has to watch that, obviously. That is what he has to do, because if Haliburton is not right, you have got to be ready to go with a T.J. McConnell, a Benedict Mathurin, or somebody else to give them more minutes and take Haliburton out. You have to figure out how to work this lineup and your bench to the best of your ability tonight more than ever. Rick, you are an all-time great coach. I definitely believe in you. And at number 1, of course, we all know, Tyrese Haliburton. It feels like, Tyrese, every time your back is against the wall, you come through. You really do. I mean, you came through against Milwaukee with the buzzer-beating game winners. You came through against Cleveland. You came through against New York. You even came through against OKC in game 1. Tonight, your back is against the wall. And here's the deal. We know you're injured. We all believe it. But once you start playing, and specifically if you play 30 minutes or so, nobody's going to care about the injury. Years from now, nobody's going to be thinking about that injury. It is just going to be how productive was he. Now, you have seen your stock drop in these finals from superstar to star. And Nick Wright is just kicking himself for putting you in Club Superstar.
You gave me props for putting me in Club Superstar.
But I'm just saying, you've dropped from superstar to star.
I don't know if I agree.
But tonight, playing on a bum calf strain, you could go from star to legend.
Wow.
Willis Reed?
Yes. Now, you still would have to obviously do it in 7, but if you come out, play a big game tonight, and get to a game 7, this will be you already have boosted your name this season, but this would really be wonderful for your legacy. So TJ or Tyrese, I believe in you, brother. See that? I believe in you. There it is.
What, great as always, bro.
Oh, it's always spectacular. Can I add one suggestion to Tyrese, since he's a huge fan of the show, probably one of the subscribers? Chance for a real flair for the dramatic tonight. We saw the intros already were introduced. the NBA has been adding more, dare I say, aura to the finals
Pageantry?
as pageantry.
Yes.
I would come out in warm-ups with that big calf thing on, that big calf ice pack or heat pack, and I'd keep it on maybe right to the very
Little gamesmanship.
Oh yeah, and then just be like, take it off and throw it on the ground.
I like it. I think there's already some gamesmanship. I think they know he's playing.
Oh yeah, he's definitely playing.
And they're just, you know, why, let OKC guess.
I think that's right. Little after 4:10 on a Thursday.
Well, yeah. It's time for the Sports Media Ombudsman, whether you like it or not.
People like it. So I'm actually sticking, to a degree, with Indiana basketball. And I am going to discuss the coverage of the biggest star of Indiana basketball, which is Caitlin Clark. And I am going to use some tweets before we put them up from someone who just wrote a book on Caitlin Clark that comes out in a few weeks, Christine Brennan, and was just on Colin's show earlier today. And so the tweets from Christine are, I think, endemic of a larger issue. This is not about Christine personally. So Christine, in her book, I think it's called On Her Game, comes out in a couple weeks. I'm excited to read it. But during the kerfluffle, if I can call it that, of the last Indiana Fever game, Christine Brennan, among others, had some thoughts. Here are some of them. And was first tweet, WNBA continues to fail to meet the moment. Terrible decision to allow Marina Mabry to stay in the game. People are watching as never before, and this is what they see. And then followed it up with, this happened last night to the most, this was a video, to the most important audience magnet and TV corporate draw in the history of a business, WNBA, that's desperately trying to advance and succeed in a very crowded, male-dominated sports marketplace. And then one more tweet, which is, it's going to be very interesting to see what Kathy Engelbert has to say today. This is a big moment for the WNBA. We now have data that Clark alone draws more than half the league's TV audience. Can the W continue to allow her to receive cheap shots like Mabry's? We shall see. Let me answer that question. Yes, they can. Because it's sports and because we do not need to patronize to greatness. And Caitlin Clark, while she might not be the most physically intimidating player in the league, she's also, it's not as if you have prime Aaron Donald roughing her up either. Additionally, in basketball, the only truly, aside from like horrific elbows to the head, dangerous plays are undercutting people when they're high in the air. And like where you're like, man, that could lead to significant injury. That is not so much of an issue in the WNBA because the game is played so much below the rim as opposed to above the rim. And I think some of the folks attempting to protect Caitlin Clark when she has asked for no protection whatsoever are actually part of unintentionally a problem, which is as if there should be special Caitlin Clark rules, as if because she is a ratings draw, what is a flagrant 1 against other players should be a flagrant 2 against her, or because she is so popular that commissioner needs to step in on what is a pretty common basketball occurrence, which is a game got a little physical, teams got a little, you know what I mean, over aggressive. And I think it perpetuates a narrative that Caitlin Clark is being targeted in any way differently than any supernova young talent that comes into a league might be targeted. Jordan got treated like that. We have seen, hell, in his own way, Tiger Woods you can't hit, there's no physicality in golf, but treated that way. Young, famous, rich, awesome disruptors ruffle feathers. And Caitlin will be a better player because of it. She will be a tougher player because of it. And to the first point, if it really is a male-dominated sports marketplace, folks that are used to watching long-time male-dominated sports, not only are they not turned off by this level of physicality, it might draw more people in. So I just feel like there's a lot of people trying to rush to Caitlin's defense when she hasn't asked for any of it, and she's more than tough enough to handle all of it.
I do agree that you don't want to patronize Caitlin Clark. I agree with most of what you said, especially when she provokes a lot. Beyond just her being great and marketable and all that, she talks trash. She pushed the teammate. I will say this, though, Nick. They could have ejected maybe. Like, the one thing that's tough to deal with as an athlete, like when you see a shot, when you don't see a shot coming. And the fact that Clark was kind of like not looking, even though it's not a terribly hard hit, you know, when you don't expect somebody to kind of body, you know, hit you with a body blow like that, it could potentially injure you.
It would have been fine if they would have
ejected her.
But I don't think it's a huge deal that they didn't, is my point. Like, it was a borderline eject or not eject, not a what are you doing.
From one superstar basketball guard to another, I'm putting LaMelo Ball.
Your
on
favorite player?
the
Will you
Bud
just
list.
put that in front of
One
me?
of my favorite players, LaMelo Ball, was unfortunately mentioned in a tweet from a local Carolina news anchor. Here's Mike's tweet. I spoke with a source last night who told me at least one draft lottery pick refused to work out with the Hornets out of a desire not to play with LaMelo Ball. I said, what in the world? Who wouldn't want to play with LaMelo Ball? Receive some fancy passes? Be on a lot of highlight reels? Do I need to remind everyone? Fan voting.
Oh, my God.
Okay? But he led all Eastern Conference guards in fan voting. Now, the coaches didn't vote
Why
for
are
him.
we playing this?
So
Did he get any
we have
votes from the
Dusty
coaches?
made
Probably
an
didn't get one
interesting,
coach vote.
you know, highlight reel of LaMelo. Here he is getting a tattoo by 5 tattoo artists.
Yeah, he got a huge
And he
tattoo.
also was driving his go-kart on the roof of his, either he owns the building or it's an apartment complex, I'm not, and here's him just being awesome.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't want to play with LaMelo Ball, for the record, there's a good chance you can be on the Hornets and not play with LaMelo Ball. His last 4 years, 75 games, 26 games, 22 games, 47 games. Last year, the Hornets went 19-63. He won 16 games. Nevertheless, is trending upwards at 25 points, and I think LaMelo is on the verge of turning over a new leaf, perhaps.
Do you?
No, well, I'm trying to be the change you want to see in the world.
I will say, I don't know that any of these draftees has the level, like the panache, for lack of a better word, to just say, I don't want to play with LaMelo. Cooper Flagg probably does. He's the only, but he wasn't, I don't think
He's
they
like,
would
I'm
even,
not playing.
visit him. Like, he would have had him for a visit. So I don't think any of these players are good enough to be like, I don't want to play with LaMelo. Now, I also think, and I hope this changes. You guys know all last season I was pleading for LaMelo to start wanting to play winning basketball.
Yeah, that's.
But I honestly, I don't think he cares about winning.
Also-
I think he's just living the life. He's rich. He's famous.
You got
he's
guys like
popular.
Wildes,
Yeah, his
one of my
game
favorite
is nice.
players.
His numbers are great.
Taking a while to develop into a winning basketball.
I hope you're right, because he really is a special
He's
talent.
crazy talented. Also, I went to college and did radio in college with Mike Lissette. Haven't
Oh,
heard
really?
from him forever. I assume it's the same Mike Lissette. Shout out Mike Lissette.
wow.
Charlotte TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, good friend. Shout out.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.